emails. But you said there, you said that just resonated with me about something that Potsy put in the group chat earlier. When you're sort of like, who is there out there? Potsy, for the viewers to know, Potsy put this in the group chat earlier on, which shows the top 10 in the Ballon d'Or list in 1998. With obviously Zidane winning it, David Suker, Ronaldo. That's the R9 in case anyone's but Rivaldo, Michael Owen. I don't even hear youngsters speak about Gabriel Batistuta anymore. Desailly gets a lot of disrespect, Thuram and everything else. Do you think there's a point that Dan's making that holds a bit of water, that just the lack of quality across football, and when I say quality, you're talking about a KDB replacement. Do you feel like maybe 10 years ago, 20 years, 30 years ago, you could have gone, I'd like any one of these 5-6 players to come in, where now it's like...
I've been saying this for like 6-7 years, man. Ever since I've been doing YouTube, I've been saying there is a football ability drain. Yeah, and you get these younger fans, yeah, who obviously just go, oh, you're just doing like the revisionism or whatever the word is, like
nostalgia merchant. Nostalgia merchant.
Nostalgic, and it's just like, nah, just because you didn't see these players back in the day, we fucking know what we're watching. And the best example, that I can give, right, and I always talk about to prove my point, is that Edinson Cavani, when he was in his prime, was not even a top 5, top 6, top 7 striker, in the world at that time. If he came back now, he'd be top 3, and I guarantee some people he'd even put him number 1. I wouldn't, but some people would even put him number 1. He wasn't even top 6, top 7 striker, bro, in his prime. Because you had like Lewandowski cooking, you started Aguero cooking, you had all these players cooking on gas, and he was a solid striker, by the way. But he was never, he had like one mad year at PSG, by the way, but he was never spoken about like one of the elite level strikers. But if he come back now as a regen, he'd be one of the best, and some people would be saying he's the best striker.
Yeah,
it's just the truth, man.
No, listen, I do agree. I'm not saying football isn't fun now, isn't entertaining. We have Phil, who's a Newcastle fan that comes on a lot and speaks about how...
This guy in the chat saying Cavani wouldn't be a top 3 striker in world football today. Oh, my God.
In his pomp. In his pomp.
Are you being serious?
He's right up there. He's right up there.
What would you say? Kane, Haaland, Cavani?
He's definitely in the top 3, man. I know Lewandowski's doing his thing, but like, come on, man. He's like...
I see the World 11 in 2012 with like Xavi, Iniesta, Puyol.
Who's the top 3 then? Why is the chat telling me he's not top 3? He's not better than Isak.
See, look, when you say not, look, when Isak gets used, I'm gonna be fair. I love Isak, but the problem is, Travanelli, when you mention Isak, is I'm using I've not seen him perform yet in a title race. How does he handle that pressure? How does he deliver? He's scoring a good amount of goals, Isak. But what he's done in the last year, let's see if he can echo that for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We're yet to see him deliver on a regular basis in, say, the Champions League as an example as well. We've also, maybe you could throw in going to a big club, a giant club where the pressure's even higher. I know Newcastle fans will hate that being said, but I think there's validity to that comment. Or maybe when Newcastle get to that point. So Isak's amazing, and there are some elements technically that he's better than him at. But Cavani did so much more in his career. And listen, and I'm a big fan of Isak, but come on now, we can't just deny the things that Cavani did. And the point is that if he was in his pomp now, like this man in his pomp, I'm just going to go and look at numbers only for a minute. Look at him in his pomp. And I don't want to hear, oh, it's France. Because whenever someone says France ain't a good league, you same bitches cry. This man, okay, from 2010, at Napoli in Serie A, okay, until 2018. Okay, this is his pomp. 33 goals, 38 goals, 25 goals, 31, 25, 49, and then 40 goals.
49 goals, but people are telling me would it be above Isak? Get out of here, man. What are we doing here?
Like, Isak's a very good player, but he's 25 years of age, Isak. He's an excellent player. His best goal-scoring season is the last 2 years. He's been very good, 25 and 26 goals, respectively, as he's hit that age, right? You're talking Edinson Cavani had some seasons where he almost doubled that, but in his pomp, 33, 33, 38. So he's 38 years old now. So let's go back and do the timeline, right? So he's 38 years old now. So I'm just going to go back 37, 36, 35. So he's 10 years and then 10 years back. So when he in 2013, when he was the same age that Isak is now, he just scored 38 goals. The year before that, 33. The year before that, 33. He then went on. For me to look at Isak and put him in the same categories, and I'm talking all things, 25 goals a year after that, then 31 goals and 25, then 49 and 40. He's also delivered in his career, right? By the way, a lot for international, but you look at his honors as well, what he has helped to win, right? This guy won a cup for Napoli, back 5, 6 league titles, bare European trophies as well. He won so much as a football player. Like, come on now, let's be fair here. Isak's brilliant, but that's not the reason why you're doing it, though. Do you know what it is? Do you know what I think it is, LB? I'd love to get your take on this. It's because Cavani was never that rated because there was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players better than him. Because Isak is now rated as one of the best in the world, you're viewing it as, well, no, Isak is one of the best in the world at 25. Cavani wasn't. But that's because the standard is lower now.
Like even that 12 in 41 at the Premier Man United, the guy was like 33, 34.
Exactly.
Like even David Villa. David Villa is better than majority of the wingers in the world right now. I'd have David Villa probably better than the only winger I'd take right now over him is Salah.
Yeah.
I'd take probably him now.
See, what does that say? 12 in what?
12 in 41 for Man United.
Well, so this is the thing as well, though, right? So when I did the stats for Isak, I included goals in all competitions, to be fair. Actually, he scored 17 goals in his first season for Man United when he was in his 30s. The next year, he only got 2 goals. That's being granted. But that was also Man United's fault. What we then went and done is we brought Ronaldo in, who played ahead of him as an example. And then he didn't want to be at the club anymore. He was always out and injured and barely playing and everything else. Then he went to Valencia, and scored 7. But that was at the end of his career. Let's be fair, like in his 30s. We're talking in his pomp. And again, the point I think you're all missing that was made is that he wasn't even probably rated in the top 5, top 10 at some points in his peak. Maybe in the seasons where he got 49 and 40 goals. But yeah.
That's the point. Like, for me, anyone that thinks Isak now is better than Cavani in the prime is off the red, in my opinion, yeah. But that's not really the point I was making. The point I'm making is that whether you think Cavani's better or you think Isak's better, yeah, the point is Isak right now is top 3, top 4 strikers in world football, yeah. Cavani wasn't even top 6, top 7, top 8, top 9.
David Villa is such a great shout out for the 2000s. There is a genuine shout that if David Villa was playing today, he could be the best striker in the world.
Bro, we signed Aguero, yeah, not because like he was desperate necessarily to join Man City, because I don't know if that was the truth, yeah, but because everybody else had world-class strikers at the time anyway, so didn't need Aguero.
Yeah,
Aguero would be the best striker in the world right now in his pomp.
Yeah, Aguero was talking, by the way, at Atletico Madrid. Yeah, he dunked on Chelsea. Ask Chelsea fans about that.
Yeah,
and this is the truth is nobody else wanted him because they didn't need him because everyone had top-class strikers.
And this is why when punditry's done, recency bias always has to be called into question. The reason I say that is Wayne Rooney, sometimes people say underachieved. And a lot of that was based on the hype the English media gave him and the expectations they set for him. Does that make he's going to win us World Cups? Rooney didn't promise anybody that. But again, if Wayne Rooney was playing now, if Rooney came through 2 years ago as an 18-year-old and was scoring and delivering in exactly the same way, I don't think there's as many good defenders now as there were 20 years ago either. But if Rooney came through now, he would be outright seen as the best player in the world. Rooney, though, in his pomp, he had the 2 guys that are considered the 2 GOATs, as in Messi and Ronaldo. So you always have to be mindful of recency bias because you may go, I don't even think Rooney was top 5 when he was playing. Isak now is number 1. But would Isak have been number 1 in Rooney's era? No. Not in the Premier League. So I just think that sometimes people forget like the landscape and what you were. I was making this point before. There are some of the Olympic sprinters, if you go and look at, that were running during Usain Bolt's peak. Some of them were running faster than the current world champions, the current Olympic champions. So you can't, that's why I always say medals are a massive indicator of how successful you were. But if you're going to be fair, and I've learned this over the years, you've got some players, some runners might have only got silvers and bronze, but who are they running against compared to now? And I'm only saying when you compare them to today's runners or runners from yesteryear, I think about Andy Murray, and this is said by a lot of tennis fanatics. Andy Murray won 3 majors, which is a lot for a British guy because we don't win anything. But he did it in the greatest era that tennis has ever seen with Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal. If you take just one of those guys out, there is a lot of experts of tennis that go, he probably would have won 4 or 5 more. Imagine none of those 3 existed at the same time as Andy Murray. Imagine how many he would have won. Now, that doesn't make Andy Murray any better or worse as a tennis player. You have to look at the landscape of what you're competing against, which is why I still view the best era of the Premier League as kind of 04 to around 2013, 2014. And why that is because most seasons in that period, we had 2, 3, sometimes 4 teams from the Prem going into Europe, Champions League, which also had loads of teams that we thought could win it. But there was a genuine chance that you'd go, even this season, Arsenal have done better than everybody thought. But no one thought Villa could win it. Last season, Newcastle going into the Champions League, no one thought Newcastle could win it. United, every time we've been in it in the last 10 years, who thought we could win it? No one. That didn't exist in that era. Our teams were that good that there was a genuine chance they could go on to win it. And I think you always have to look at what you're competing against when you're deciding who's best and who's worse, not just the records or, the most points or the goals scored or the goals conceded. That's why Chelsea's goal conceding record's so amazing. That was in the mid-noughties. Do you know how many amazing strikers played in the Premier League then? To only concede 15 goals is a madness. But look, viewers, give us your opinions on that. Great chat. Even Van Persie in 2013 is better than Isak.
Facts.
I mean, come on, what we're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I'd take if I could get peak Isak. So if I could have Isak now or peak Van Persie, I'd definitely pick in Van Persie. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but by the way, I didn't even mean to start this Isak fucking debate. My point, I thought it was common knowledge that prime Cavani, when he scored 49 goals in a single season, is better than Isak. Yeah, the point was, Cavani was not considered a top class, like world class striker in his prime because of everybody else that was above him. And if he came back now, he would be considered one of the best in the world.
Without
That's
a doubt.
the point.
Without
This whole conversation started because Terry asked me who City should sign if we can't get Verts, and I said I don't know because there's no one out there.
Yeah, that's great. Another debate for us, so very quickly that I suppose we have to have.